Onoshiorena Obozeghie, who will be taking us to Kakaaki Social for Kakaaki, reactions on the media space.
Absolutely.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Naigbe.
Your leg, where?
Yeah, very well. All right, so because we've taken a bit of your time, let me leave you and yield the floor to you now. Let's know what's trending.
All right, see you later. Good morning to you. This is Kakaaki Social. I'm Rena Obozeghie. Now, it was a drama-filled Tuesday on the floor of the Red Chamber as we saw our federal lawmakers engage in series of drama that we had a new recorded episode of Off Your Mic, but we take it one day at a time. So we begin with the 3-month suspension that was imposed on the senator representing Bauchi Central, Abdul Ningi. Now, you remember he's been claiming that the 2024 Appropriation Act has a hanging sum of 3.7 trillion naira unaccounted for. Well, his reaction to that was resigning as the chairman of the Northern Senators Forum.
The suspension for 3 months say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So distinguished Senator Ningi is hereby suspended for 3 months from all activities connected with the 10th Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, distinguished colleagues, I stand to move that the Senate reverse to plenary to enable the chair report progress. I so move.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, I second the motion that Chairman, the Senate reverse to plenary to enable the chair report progress. I so second.
All right, Senator Ningi on his way out of the Senate yesterday after a 3-month suspension. For Sanusi, he says the suspension of Senator Abdul Ningi is a mockery of justice. It underscores the need for continued effort to combat corruption and uphold democratic principles. While setbacks occur, perseverance in fighting for the right of the masses remains crucial for progress. And he's tagging Serap Nigeria. Apparently, maybe he wants them to look into that. This user in Kiru, he says, instead of investigating the claim of budget pardon, the person whom the allegation was made against suspended the claimant. You cannot be a judge in your own case. Of course, Nigerian Senate does not even follow basic rules of natural justice. Another user, Mazi, says, in civilized parts of the world, the truth makes you a hero, whereas in this country, it makes you a villain, unpatriotic, and an enemy of invisible progress. And final thought on that is coming from Aminu, who says, considering the political system in this country, we can say that he's even lucky that it's just a 3-month suspension. It could have been something else. We have seen this before. This is Nigeria. Let's see how all of this would continue to happen. Well, this is Senator Jarigbe, Agom-Jarigbe from Cross River North. At the same plenary, he indicted his colleagues, saying that they are all culpable as each of them, particularly the ranking senators, got a total of 500 million naira from the 2024 budget. Well, this was as the lawmakers debated budget pardon claims by the now suspended Senator Abdul Ningi. But just before he could land on his point, he had his mic turned off.
If we want to go into those issues, all of us are culpable. Some senators here, so-called senior senators, got 500 million each. I am a ranking senator, I didn't get. Did I go to the press? Most of you got. And yes, if we want to go into those issues, excuse me, if we want to go into those issues, yes. So I think that Senator Ningi,
we could just allow that continue to see that he was struggling to talk because he already lost his sound right there. But then let's move over to the next video. At this point, if your eyes are not on your screen, I promise you would definitely miss this gist, because this is Senator Akpabio, and if we had continued that video, you will see that his mic, we lost his voice because his mic was turned off. And according to Lip Readers Association of Social Media. This is Akpabio directing his aide, I don't know what they are called, on the floor of the Senate to say that off his mic. Maybe I should give you some seconds to see if you could also read along that to say he was telling that aide to off his mic, and that's how we lost the sound of Senator Agom-Jarigbe right there. Well, that video soon surfaced online. Apparently, I'm not sure anybody was expecting that, but that was the case right there. But at this point now, let's bring you some thoughts on the 500 million naira that each of the senators got, according to their colleague. Jasper says to defend this allegation, they will say it is for constituency project, a wild avenue to dry up the treasury at a period of serious paucity of fund. While they leave fat on us, they often preach patience as the antidote to our elastic suffering. For Momo, it says, I think it's quite rude that Akpabio nodded at them to off Senator Jarigbe's microphone while he was spilling their secrets. That's quite rude. It's a flaw for all Nigerians to talk, not his personal property. And I think that's what Senator Ali Udume was also saying at that point, where the session was suspended because they had to visit the inauguration of NILT while it was built. But Obina says, off the mic, what do you expect from Akpabio? How can a normal country make such pressing a Senate president, someone who was being probed by EFCC at one point, until we wake up from our slumber? Nigeria will always be a joke to the world. It is not rocket science. More thought coming from Chris Hector, who says the fact that the highly esteemed Labour Party senators watched this happen under their nose tells you Nigeria is corruptibly irredeemable. I can't mention the others because they never promised us sanity. They are just representing well, including Labour Party. The whistleblower wasn't involved. Okay, maybe he wasn't involved and that's why he had to raise the alarm. But then if he was, it would be that it was for constituency project. But then introducing the ethnic card to say that there is a plan underway to impeach the Southern Senate president, who is Godswill Akpabio, the Senate leader, Leader Bamidele, immediately justified the reception of 500 million naira by senators. Well, he says it would only make sense for Nigerians to hold on for 12 months and see whether or not the lawmakers would not deliver a project equivalent to the amount in debate.
I was going through online, just as this is going on, it's trending now, that every senator got 500 million. My appeal to Nigerians is not about what was said there today, because I'm not going to deny that. But we have 12 months to implement 2024 budget. Let every Nigerian wait to see whether there's any of these senators who will not bring enough boreholes, enough solar street lights, enough road construction, and other projects, training and empowerment, that will be up to 500 million naira. That is it. I am not protesting. If I got anything here, it is not money put in my pocket. They are constituency projects given to my constituency. And I'm not apologetic about it.
Okay, another thought. Mavis says, you see why these men would rather die than lose an election? It makes sense now when Akpabio boldly said the struggle is worth it. Well, if you missed that, that was the insensitivity Akpabio and Sim Fubara played out at the burial of the Wigways, where they said, oh, you have to struggle in politics. Why struggle? Fubara asked. And Akpabio says, if you cannot struggle, if you see no need to struggle, then you have to leave politics. The sports doctor says, it's the same money these people borrowed that they are sharing 500 million naira each, padding budget with trillions, and Akpabio buying deep freezers for 2.5 billion naira. What sort of wickedness is this? William says they said Akpabio padded budget by 3 trillion naira. Bamidele insisted of addressing the matter. He's saying Northerners are trying to sack a Southern president. What a country. And more thought from Didi. He says EFCC will not let Yahoo boys rest when all the Yahoo men are flexing in the National Assembly. Well, if it's proceeded, you may have to bring your receipts that everyone at the National Assembly is a G-man. You know. But let's move away from the National Assembly. I told you that it was a long day. The security matters. Again, Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi has offered to help negotiate with bandits to secure the safe release of abducted persons across Nigeria. In an interview with Leadership, he cautioned President Bola Tinubu against refusing his offer, warning that Tinubu must not be like his predecessor, Muhammadu Buhari, who refused to sit on the same table with the enemies of the state. Well, in his words, the government's stand of no negotiation with the bandit is an unfortunate position. My advice is that the government should dialogue with the bandit, not only for these Kuriga school children abduction, but all the cases. I am ready to lead a holistic dialogue between the government and bandits. It is a religious duty for me to do so for peace. He says it is, is recommended or is advised according to his religion to ensure that he's a man of the peace. He leads the way to peace. But Junior R says every time he's ready to lead the dialogue, and yet he's still working freely, going about. Omo, this should be number one person that should have been interrogated. What happened to NIN? Every time, link this and that, but you can't track them. For Credo, he says, every time you're negotiating with bandit, ISIS, ISWAP, Boko Haram, unknown gunmen, that's how unknown gunmen got an acronym, you see, UGM. In all your previous negotiations, no arrests, more kidnappings and more killings. Tinubu, it's time to arrest Gumi. Well, he says, how come the Nigeria security agent can't trace the location of the bandits, just like they easily trace those who speak against bad government? And final thought is coming from the giant prince on X, who says he's able to negotiate but not identify the terrorists, help set them up to be imprisoned, or work with law enforcement to engage them in all their handouts around the country. Well, that is a question there that concerned authorities will have to give an answer to. But that's how we call it a day today on Kakaaki Social. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'm Rena OBO on social media, so we could continue from there. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, I'm back. And thank you for all the stories you brought us. It's a whole day, a long day, really, yesterday, both on offline and online.
Definitely,
really.
Yes, it was.
Okay, so, but we'll have to let you go. Interesting happenings at the National Assembly, and like my reviewer said on the newspaper review today, it is time to leave all of this bickering and face governance, because people are being abducted every day in Nigeria.
I mean, this is governance too. Governance begins from there, if you ask me. So we can't leave all of that money and say we want to move on to other issues. Now, DNA we one day. Now
follow the money.
Follow the money.
All right, Rena, do have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be leading you into